Well, hey! Welcome to High on Queer. We're going to talk about weird things I've found on the internet, varying from things involving pastries to things involving superheroes, depending on what day of the week it is. For example, today is Sweet Sunday, which means we're going to talk about anything sweet involving pastries, ice cream, cakes, candies, or just really sweet pics of boobs. I mean, like, anything could happen. It's a sweet Sunday. Tomorrow's Meaty Monday, where we talk about weird things involving meat. No, I'm not talking about your high school cafeteria or the thing in your boyfriend's pants. After that, it's Taco Tuesday, where we're talking about weird things involving tacos and other Mexican foods, or just weird food in general that I found that would be weird in a taco. No, ladies, that's not meaning the thing in your pants. Wacky Wednesdays are anything goes, where we can talk about anything I fucking feel like. Am I allowed to say that on the internet? Not really sure. We're just gonna go with it. Thursdays become Thor Thursday, where we talk about Thor and anything Marvel, including anything with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, comics, and just weird things that I want to ship superheroes with. Fridays become Flash Friday, where we talk about things involving the Flash and other DC superheroes, quite along the same lines as Thor Thursday. Let's get started. Just gonna drink some milk here first. And that way I can be a big kid. Anyway, man was in Independence Township, Michigan, is being accused of having a sugar high after eating his teenage daughter's brownies that had been baked with marijuana. It's reported that the 58-year-old man did not know the sweet treats contained pot and felt like he was having a stroke after eating several of them. I don't know about you, but when I open a container full of pot brownies, I at least know they're pot brownies by that sweet, delicious, earthy smell. And the fact that you're not supposed to eat several brownies at all, let alone several pot brownies. That just goes to show, weed doesn't make you stupid. You were already stupid before you consumed it. Huh? Anyway, in other news, I'm just gonna scroll here with this mouse because I'm reading from a computer. Because I'm awesome. Awesome. Awesome! Anyway, the Cookie Monster has been spited, yes. The Cookie Monster has been spited. God has come down to spite the Cookie Monster. Anyway, what I meant to say was the Cookie Monster has been spotted. Spotted. Not like your cat. Spotted as in we found him. A man in... Oh, it's New Hampshire. I almost said Rhode Island. A man in New Hampshire has apparently had a craving for cash, but not cookies. Police say they're looking for a man who sold a cash box from Girl Scouts selling cookies outside a local drugstore. Police say the theft occurred a Saturday evening during a cookie sales event outside Walgreens on South Main Street. When asked about the theft, the thief responded saying, "Hey, guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles." Oh, God. Am I a big kid yet? No? Okay. The donuts that whiten as you chew. No, I'm not talking about those toothpaste donuts you tried making when you were 4. I'm talking about Dunkin' Donuts removing the whitening agent, titanium dioxide, from its pastries. Yeah. So, I don't know about you, I'm not really a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts. If you are, I'm sorry. Wait, no I'm not. But there's a Dunkin' Donuts near me. I'm not going to tell you where I am, because that's not okay. But you'd think a place that serves coffee on a daily basis would at least know how to actually make coffee. I've been in there numerous different times. This just was not a one-time thing. I was in there numerous times. The first time I was in there, it was way too strong. Then it was way too weak. Then it tasted like someone shit in a bucket, put that in a coffee filter after it dried, and got it ground up, and poured water through it. Nothing like drinking your shit in the morning. And then I tried ordering a breakfast sandwich, thinking, okay, maybe the coffee's just shit. Maybe they can actually just make food? No. I didn't even pay for my order after I saw one of the employees picking their nose and then proceeding to pick up donuts and other food materials. Because nothing says good morning like a ham, egg, and booger sandwich. Anyway, if that wasn't enough to deter you away from the franchise, if powdered donuts, complete with the white stuff that stick to your fingers and get sprinkled all over your lap, because you can sprinkle things on an auditory function. God, I need to learn how to talk. Sprinkled on your lap, because that sounded similar, inspire nostalgic memories of your childhood, you might have been eating something you weren't quite intending. No, I'm not referring to the ham, egg, and booger sandwich. I'm referring to titanium dioxide mixed into the donuts and in the powdered sugar on the powdered donuts. Luckily, that'll soon change, because that just goes to show, if it's white, keep it out of sight. That goes to you, weird, creepy men on the internet. No one wants to see that. Jeez, you don't know if I'm like 4? I don't want to see your pee-pee. Because you can't say penis. Anyway, that's the weird things I found about pastries on the internet, but that's not all I found. Now we're getting to the less sweeter side of the internet and the things I've found that people say to other people on the internet. This edition is things that people refer to as cis people have said to people that aren't cis, meaning trans, on the internet. These are actual things that I've found on the internet or from my own personal experiences as a trans woman. And I've compiled the list. Some of these are from celebrities, some of these are from people I've encountered, some of these are just random things that have happened in the internet from people who think they're awesome but really not. So, without further ado, here's shit that people on the internet say. The first one's coming in from Piers Morgan. You might know him from that weird talk show that I don't really know what channel it's on. He tweets, I fear I am a victim of cisphobia. Now, let me break that down. He's afraid that he's a victim of cisphobia. Most of that made sense until the very, very end. See, you can be afraid of spiders, that's called arachnophobia. You can be afraid of clowns, I have no idea what that word is. You can be afraid of small spaces, that's claustrophobia. You can be afraid of really long words and really, really shittily is now a word now. I mean, meow. Shittily is meow a word. And it's just a really long word. The word that means phobia of long words is an extremely long word, and it's actually the biggest word in the dictionary. I'll put that word down in the crotch of this video. The bottom of the video leading into the comment section is a crotch now. It's gonna be like right down here, my crotch. So you're going to scroll down from this video and you're going to see that word. And if you have a fear of long words, you're going to get freaked the fuck out. But anyway, much like homophobia isn't a word that just means you're an asshole, cisphobia is the same thing. Now, cis is a term used to describe people who are okay with their birth gender, or the gender they were assigned at birth, more appropriately. That means when you were pushed out of your mother's vulva through the birth canal after you were a little egg and sperm, and you came together and you were in the fallopian tube and you came down into the uterus, the sperm came in and was and you started growing into a baby, you got pushed out. The doctor took a look between your legs, very, very creepily. He just like, oh, that's a penis in there. Let's give that person a male check. They're a boy now. That means you're okay with that. That means you identify as a male, you were assigned male at birth. However, if you don't agree with that, that's when you are not cis, you're trans. Trans is kind of an umbrella term. It can mean trans man, trans woman, an intersex person, non-binary people. The list just goes on. There's not a real clear-cut, restriction list for being trans. If you feel you're not cis, you're trans. They're really inclusive. You don't see a trans person, because trans people is a singular version of that word. You don't see trans person being really uninclusive of other trans people. It happens, but not so much. That's with an attractive faith. But when there's a difference there in the gender spectrum, and gender is not just male and female. This is your life lesson for the day. Gender and sexuality, do not mean the same thing. They are separate spectrums, completely separate. Okay? Okay. And there's different genders. There's the binary gender, male, female, and there's other genders. There's so many to list. I'm not going to list them all. If you want more, I'll give you a little link down in the crotch. You can go check that out. Or you can check out the little handy search engine. It's called Google. Don't know if you heard of it. But you can Google that. You can Google that. Okay, that was weird. But anyway, so Piers Morgan, let's go back to the original thing so I can stop ranting. Piers Morgan tweeted, and I can actually show you a screen grab of this tweet, has tweeted, "I fear I'm now a victim of cisphobia." So he fears that he is now a victim of his own asshole because he has his head shoved so far up it, he's ignorant to the rest of the world. Good job, Piers Morgan. Good job. This next thing was found on a Facebook comment listed in one of the pages I follow on Facebook that was brought to my attention through my Facebook page that I run called That Trans Bitch, because let's face it, I'm a bitch. And the comment read, "If you don't have a gender, where do you piss from? Your asshole?" Well, person I don't remember the name of that I just grabbed this comment and put it on my list. No, I don't pee from my asshole because that would be bad. Your genitals do not define your gender. You define your gender. Genitals are just that thing between your legs that you use when you have sex or that pee comes out of. It does not define who you are. I'm just gonna play with my hair while I talk about this. And if you're peeing from your asshole, random guy on the internet that I don't remember the name of, that I just put your comment on the list so I can talk about it, you might want to go see your doctor. Peeing from the asshole is not a good thing. Okay. Right. These next few have come from either my personal experience or some of my friends' experiences. The first one is, "I'm sorry, what does your birth certificate say?" Well, it has where I was born. What day? It has my birthday. It has my mommy's name. Do you want to know my mommy's name? No one wants to know my mommy's name. Mommy, don't touch me there. Wait, what? Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. But the birth certificate, like I was talking about with that first thing from Piers Morgan, gives you that gender you were assigned at birth. Other than that, it really doesn't serve any purpose other than saying, "Hey, look, I was born." Because the world is such a shallow place, you need a certificate to say you were born. Yeah, I'm probably going to get a whole bunch of comments in the comment section saying, "Oh, no, so we can tell where you were born, when you were born, so we can prove your citizenship." There's other documents that do that. I mean, social security cards. There's others, I just don't remember them. But that's in there. The next one, are you going to have a sex change? Yes, because it's so important that I need my genitals changed to conform with your idea of a gender stereotype. Because all women must have vaginas, right? Well, let me tell you something. It's not actually called a vagina, it's called a vulva. And no, not all trans people need to have a sexual reassignment surgery. Not all trans people need to be on hormones. Some choose to, some choose not to. That doesn't mean they're any less trans than someone who is going through that process. Or that awkward moment when you're on a date with somebody and they're really fucking cute, right? Like they're into you, you're into them, things are happening, you're starting to feel comfortable around them, you want to invite them over for what you're going to say is coffee, but we all know it's not coffee. Unless you wake up and have sex every morning instead of coffee, coffee means sex in the dating world. Especially when it's like after 6 o'clock at night. You're not fooling anyone when you ask them up for coffee. We both know what that means. Let's just be upfront. If you're on a date and you want to invite them over, and you have the end game of wanting to fuck their brains out like a wild animal in the Discovery Channel, just say that. You don't need to be like weird and shaky with it, because what if the relationship doesn't work out? What if they're not that person you think they were? Then you associated them and having sex with them as having coffee with them, because that just became your code word when you're out in public. Now you're going to be deteriorated from coffee because coffee is going to remind you of that person. Especially if that person said this. Oh, you're trans? I'm not attracted to you now. And you're just left sitting there going, but you've kissed me. We've been on like 8 dates. How is this possible? Are you really that shitty of a person? Now, if you're someone that does that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to your toolbox, and if you don't have one of those, go to your nearest Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, whatever. Go to their hardware section where they sell tools. Grab a hammer and just do a facepalm into the hammer. If you lose consciousness for a moment and wake up a better person, great! Anyway, this next one is from another celebrity, Joss Whedon. Yeah, that guy that does those shows and those things. Don't really know a lot of his stuff. I think I do, but I'm not gonna. I'm babbling now. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Joss Whedon responded to a tweet from that Kyle McManus, the last 4 letters of this person's name spell anus. So I'm just going to call him that Kyle McAnus. He's an anus now. Any advice on writing strong female leads in a comic? Apparently, this person is trying to write a comic. It's innocent enough. Like, that's innocent. This person's tweeting to Joss Whedon, asking for advice on writing a comic. That's okay. However, Joss Whedon's response must value #strength. I'm not lying, it literally says #strength. But also #community, and not have a peenie/balls. Now, for those who have a penis, I'm pretty sure you don't call it a peenie. I mean, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want it to be called a peenie weenie. Like, what are we? Disney Junior show? But that's just not okay, because that's this reverting back to that stereotype that your genitals define your gender, and that's not a thing at all. Another thing, what do your genitals look like? Well, if you're asking me, I'm sure not going to tell you. Because people somehow think that trans people have some sort of weird mutilated genitalia, like it's like weirdly shaped or something. I don't know why this question's even asked. I mean, most penises look alike. I mean, I've only seen the one that's currently attached to my body. I don't really care to see any others. but I'm going to assume that most of them look the same. There's variable lengths, but they pretty much still look the same. There's testicles underneath it. Sometimes they're hairy, sometimes they're not. There's a length. They're kind of referred to as the shaft. Then there's like that weird pink part at the end called the tip. You pee out of that. Your orgasms happen through that. It's just pretty much just one thing. That's pretty much what a penis looks like. Vulvas are pretty much the same. They look a bit different too. I mean, there's different lengths of lip, and which is called the labia something. Don't really know. I'm not a vagina expert. There's a hole called the vagina that gets penetrated or fingered, or babies come out of that. Between the clitoris and the birth canal, there's the P spot. I've never actually figured out where that actually is. So if anyone wants to tell me where the P spot actually is, like where urine comes out of on a vulva, that way I know, so I know where I'm fucking peeing from. And then above that there's a clit. No, sometimes they're shaped different, they can smell different, they can taste different, some are hairy, some are bald. Pretty much all serve the same purpose. So genitals pretty much look the same. So asking a trans person what their genitals look like is pretty much asking somebody, what color is the sky? It's blue. The sky is blue. The sky is blue. Why is it sad? Why is the sky sad? Anyhow, for other genders, such as non-binary people, anybody that falls outside of that gender binary, which remember is male, female, anything outside of that is non-binary. Now, non-binary can include a mixture of both genders, part of one, part of another. That doesn't mean you have two different genitalia. That just means you identify as a mixture of different genders, or no gender at all. You're just a person. That's who you are. You're a human being. Everyone is a human being. Some people are shitty human beings, but that's not what I'm going with. But people always think that non-binary people, since they don't usually assume that non-binary people identify with the gender binary, male, female, are some weird collaborate of other weird things, and they don't dress as either gender. Non-binary people can wear any fucking clothes they want. Clothes don't have a fucking gender, you motherfuckers. This shirt that I'm wearing does not have any fucking gender to it. It's a mix of fabric and color. That's all it is. The shorts I'm wearing, same thing. If I was wearing anything else, same thing. Clothes do not have a gender. Actually, did you know that boys and girls used to wear dresses for the longest time? Then some weird dude was just like, hey, look at these pants I made. Boys should wear these. And only girls should wear dresses. And that's how gender stereotypical clothes were born. Thank you, men. Thank you. Not. But anyway, I've heard people say to my non-binary friends, if you're non-binary, why do you wear dresses? Because it's comfortable and it makes me look pretty. It's pretty much why anybody wears anything, because they look good in it. I mean, duh. And last but not least, when someone calls themselves a ally of trans, LGBT, whatever, mind you, the A in LGBT, A whatever, blah, 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 does not mean ally, you motherfuckers. It means asexual, aromantic. Okay? Okay, just get that through your head. It's not for you. We thank you for supporting us, but we can get by on our own too, so I mean, just calm your titties. But when allies say, oh, I don't hate trans people, I'm totally for gay rights. Because that just makes everybody think, oh, trans women are just men in drag. Because that's totally the same thing. Because men in drag don't say they're just men in drag. Men in drag are just men wearing different clothes. Trans women are women. Ba-duh! And that's all we've got for today. So thank you for watching High on Queer. Remember, kids, practice safe lunch. Use condiments.
And